Joining us now to discuss how today will impact the candidates as we move forward in the presidential race is head of Jacksonville University's Public Policy Institute, Rick Mullaney. Good morning to you, Rick. Thanks for being here. So you have said that Florida voters, quite frankly, will shape the future of the nomination without a doubt, and also the presidency. We know that with the GOP, this is winner take all. You got to get, the most votes wins the 99 delegates. What are you expecting to see here if we break down the numbers, particularly, and let's start with Donald Trump if we can. Let's say that he wins in Florida because he does have a big lead, but loses in Ohio. Right now, Kasich is ahead of him, in most of the polls. I mean, it's pretty close, but he is ahead of him. What will happen?
If that happens, you can expect this race to go on. John Kasich will stay in. The race will go on into May or June, probably. Could go as far as California on June 7th with 172 delegates. What we know is this. If Donald Trump wins Florida and Ohio, he's most likely, he's going to be the Republican nominee. If he loses both, you're going to have a contested convention. If you have the split, like you just described, it's a little less clear. It favors a contested convention, but there's still a pathway for him. But I do think you're going to see this go on for a long time if Ohio is won tonight by John Kasich.
It won't be a shoe-in, as we've sort of been seeing, certainly considering how well he has done so far, and him, by that I mean Donald Trump. Marco Rubio obviously not going down without a fight. We have seen him, particularly in Northeast Florida, visited voters obviously yesterday in San Marco. I want to play some of the interview that we actually got with him, because I think it speaks to where his mind is and has been over the last couple of days.
So I am asking you to vote, and I am asking you to find other people to vote, and I am asking you to do everything you can possible over the next 36 hours to ensure not just that we win Florida, but that we win decisively.
So desperation there without a doubt, right? Does this last-minute sort of pressing of the flesh really work to sway kind of that 10% of the undecided voters that we saw?
This is it for Marco Rubio. He knows it. Today is it. And he's behind in the polling. As you saw with Bernie Sanders last week, upsets do happen, but a lot of polls suggest that he has a lot of work to do. And for Marco Rubio and John Kasich, neither one of them, even with a win, can get to 1237. What they can do is go to a contested convention and hopefully get the nomination there. But Marco Rubio knows very well that Florida is it for his campaign. He's also lost some momentum in some other states. So he desperately needs to win. If he doesn't win today, hard to see how he continues on.
So you mentioned Bernie Sanders. I know we saw him. He visited the University of Florida last week, also UCF. Yep. He has done very well among young voters. Is that enough to win Florida, considering he's so far behind to Clinton?
Don't think so. Yeah. I think that Hillary Clinton has a very strong lead here in Florida. She also has a big lead in North Carolina. The South has turned out to be a big firewall for her. You can expect to see her win in Florida and North Carolina. However, look to the Midwest. The surprise that you saw in Michigan, you may see Bernie Sanders very competitive in Illinois, in Ohio, and in Missouri. But you can pretty much expect a Hillary Clinton victory in Florida and North Carolina. Which
is probably why she wasn't here, at least this year, though she did send her husband, obviously, yesterday. I want to listen to a little part of what he had to tell voters in Northwest Jacksonville.
Yes. She ought to be president because it wouldn't be a bad thing to have the first woman president. Yes. She ought to be president because, as Congressman John Lewis said when we were about to vote in South Carolina, we like people who've been with us for a lifetime, who are always there, who don't just talk the talk but walk the walk.
It's interesting because he's really pulling on her experience. And while Florida may be a shoo-in for her when it comes to winning over Bernie Sanders, as you mentioned, there's 4 other states here. And does that message help, the fact that she's got the proven experience?
Well, remember this, too. It's all proportional on the Democratic side, not like the Republican side that's winner take all.
Yeah.
So you're going to win, but you want to win by a big percentage. And Bernie Sanders is going to try to cut that margin. And the Clintons are smart. They know that the path to the White House is through Florida. In the general election, too. This is going to be a key state. Yes, that experience, she's been playing on her experience, her knowledge, but she's had to pivot a little bit because of the message of Bernie Sanders. He has pulled her far to the left. He has run a campaign that has exceeded all expectations.
Yeah, truly.
He clearly has. The stunning win in Michigan, pulling in a lot of young people, and so therefore, but I don't think in Florida that's going to be enough. However, take a look at what happens at these all 5 states. You may see surprising strength from Bernie Sanders in the Midwest.
And it'll be interesting, too, because I know you'll be back here with us tomorrow morning.
It
will be a much different picture and much more to talk about.
By the end of today, we're going to have a much clearer picture.
Rick Mullaney, thank you very much for being here. Do appreciate it. Want to remind you our election coverage continues tonight. Join us at 7 o'clock for a webcast on news4jax.com. We will bring you the results as they come in, along with updates from campaign headquarters around the state. Also, don't forget to download our News4Jax app. Turn on those push notifications for alerts on your phone as the results come in. We will send them to you. You can also we're also streaming all of our live coverage, of course, on your mobile device.